page. It happens every class. It's okay. I understand. That's why I'm covering it again. It's just visually, you know, and it says in the MLA that your instructor will either ask you to put it on or take it off. It even says it in the MLA. I like it off because it just visually, I don't like it on that first page. That's all. So in this case, to put your last name and page number, remember I use page number. Don't use header. Use page number right here. If you click on there, you go to page number, and we want at the top on the right side, and there's a box that says show number on first page. What do you think I'm going to say? No, I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm going to hit OK. It puts the page number there. Once you have the page number there, if you double click on it, it allows you to put your cursor inside there. You double click next to the number and put your name in there like that, and then that's all you need to do, because again, it won't be on the first page because I unchecked that box. Okay, so see if you can make that happen for me. Visually it makes the paper a little better. When you're done, you can close the header and footer option. If I can figure out, oh, there it is, close it. And again, it's only there and it's not on the first page. Okay, so it's right in that box. Okay, let's start Excel. Okay, so remember that. Again, the whole Office suite is what comes with your Microsoft Office suite on the Mac. If you look in there, it comes with several applications. So if we look at the Microsoft Office suite, you got Excel, OneNote, Outlook, PowerPoint, and Word. One that's missing on Mac, of course, is Access. Access is a database program, and it only works in the Windows environment because of the way that it works and interacts with the operating system. Access uses an ODBC kind of, I don't know, some kind of connection. I don't know why they don't port it over, but it's not on Mac. So, which is kind of a shame because I'd like to show you Access in class. So I don't know if we'll get Windows on here, if I could show you that, or we'll have to do maybe a cloud-based database example, or maybe a MySQL example. I can demonstrate that, and so on. I don't know. Well, I would love to show you some database, though. I think you should learn a little bit about how a database works, what is a primary key, and all those database. And that's on the test, too. So that's another problem, is that the final exam has Access on it, and we don't have Access on the computer. So that's kind of a challenge right there. Yes. Okay, to get started with Excel, you'll notice Excel is on here as well as in your doc. If you should have the big green X at the bottom. So I'm going to click on that. And for today's example, we will look at some of the templates. There's some really nice pre-made templates already inside here. Some of the marketing budget ones, financial things already, to open them up and start, because they already have formulas already in there for you. So it makes sense to, you know, why am I going to write the formula from scratch when I can open up a template that already has the formula, right? Isn't this the new version? This is, what version do we have? Yeah, it's 2016, I think, right? Is that the latest version? I don't think they have a 19? Oh. Okay, I don't. It's the same. It's not. There's a little difference. Don't worry.
You know what's funny? College Bar sent me an email about it. That's why I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's about the 16.
Ah. Well, they should give you a free upgrade.
So they will. If,
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you're using the Office 365, that'll give you a free upgrade.
Okay.
Upgrade, right?
Okay, so well, hopefully you have access to Excel. I mean, the library should have a version in their library, right? If you go to the Success Center, it's not called Tutorial Center anymore. It's called Success Center. I guess it's a better name. Maybe it is. But at the bottom lower portion of there is some Macintosh computers kind of down the stairs. They probably have this, all what you have right here. So I don't know. You might have to request it. But okay, so again, there's a lot of pre-made Excel templates that are really useful. They already have financial information in there. I mean, feel free to open those up if you want and look at them and see them. We'll go through a couple of them as examples. But for today, we're just going to start with a blank workbook. This one right here, the first top one right here, blank workbook. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Excel in general for a moment. Again, Excel is a spreadsheet software. One of the things you'll notice is that it's called Book 1. Do you see it right here? It says Book 1. What is that referring to? Well, it's referring to the file name, basically. It's basically the file name. If you want to change that and save your file and give it something special, because we're going to be making a GPA, your grade point average Excel file, you can go underneath File, Save As, right here, File, Save As, and we can then give it a name. Right now it's called Book 1. Again, I'm going to call mine GPA and then my name, or you can put your name, not my name, because it's your GPA, grade point average, right? Again, under File, Save As. Again, this is the Mac operating system, so you'll notice that we do have an arrow that points down here that allows me to surf through the hard drive, and I'm going to put mine in the desktop for today. You might want to put it in documents or wherever you store your things. Again, you can make a folder on the desktop. You can put it on your drive. Again, it's this little arrow right here. It allows you to surf through the format. In addition, you'll notice before I hit save right now, the extension is .xlsx for the extension. You'll notice there's a variety of other formats. We'll look at some of these formats, and specifically in, like I just was explaining before, that a lot of Excel can be exchanged with other data, right? People use Excel and they send the data to somebody else, and they might use it some other way. One of the ones that I primarily used in the past was the CSV, or comma separated value. That was very popular. It still is used today. And of course, another very, very important format is the or the XML right here. XML format is very popular as well. And a tab delimiter text, the TXT, I've used that in the past as well. So XML, CSV, TXT are common ones that you might share data. Of course, you got a PDF. Remember that? There's a PDF. So, you have a variety. But I'm just going to use the default, whatever the default is, and hit save. Notice the first thing it starts saying, instead of Workbook 1 up here at the top of the screen, it has my file name that I've saved. Next thing I'm going to point out is that Excel has multiple sheets to the files. Right now, you'll notice in the lower left corner it says Sheet 1. Do you see that in the lower left corner? You can also change that name as well. You can click on it twice and it'll give you a blue highlight, and you can change the name of that. This is going to be my GPA. GPA. So again, you can change the name of the sheet. Notice there's a plus next to it. That plus means you can have multiple sheets. As we work inside of Excel, you're going to have multiple sheets. You can think of a sheet as almost like a sheet of paper, right? Or in this case, since this is more of a financial program, it's kind of a spreadsheet. In the old days, people had grid pattern paper, right? You have paper with grids on it that you drew, you put all your numbers in for your calculations. Well, of course, this is virtual. It's a virtual program. So you can actually make another sheet and another sheet by hitting the plus there. It makes another sheet. You notice that, oh, sheet 2 came up. Now, I know we're not using sheet 2 today, but I'm just pointing it out. There we got sheet 1 and sheet 2. So you can, and the other beauty of having multiple sheets is it allows you to split your Excel file up into multiple sheets so that you can have certain financial stuff on one, another financial stuff on another financial stuff on another, and they can all share data, and they can share data between them. It helps you split up. You don't want to have one giant spreadsheet for everything. You can split your spreadsheet up into smaller pieces to make that. Now, if you made an extra one like I just did that I didn't really need, I can right-click on there and delete it, and it goes away. Okay, so again, there is a way to make a new sheet right here. If I click the button, it makes a new sheet. I don't want that sheet anymore. I can right-click on that sheet and say delete. Everybody got that? Okay, let's talk about the numbers and the letters. You'll notice across the top it says A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and all the way across to there. And even if you get to Z, you can even have more. Okay? Yeah, I don't know how they can get more, but there is a way to get more. Next, you'll notice that you have numbers that go down the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and blah. Notice how I have one of them's green. This is a cell right here. These are called cells. You'll notice in the upper corner it says A1. What is that referring to? Well, since I have this selected, it's referring to, this is telling me, hey, you have the A1 selected. A1 selected. If I click there, oh, look, see, it has A2, A3, A4, A5. Okay, so you can see as I select a cell, the number will refer to it in the upper left corner. One thing to keep in mind is the delete key doesn't work very well in this program. So try and avoid, it's not really going to help you. The right click will give you many more options if you want to delete something, remove something, and do things. Delete doesn't work very well. And the other thing is how you copy something or move your mouse. The mouse is very tricky in this program. So when I'm using the mouse and I'm dragging things today, I will just listen carefully. Wait for your cursor to change a certain cursor, because the way you look at, see how my cursor is one way? Look at it. It's one way here with a hand. You have a plus, but watch this. If I put it over the little green square, look at now it's a different plus. Those pluses, there's two different pluses mean two different things. So it's really, really tricky. Do you notice again here? I see that plus? Okay, and then I put my cursor over this one. See that plus? They're different. So, you know, where you click and how you drag is a little tricky in this program. Just pay attention when we're going so that you can see, hey, how was my plus look? How was my thing? In addition, selecting, if you remember when we were doing tables inside of Word, you can actually click on the row or column to select it. Like if I want to select everything that's in A, I can put my cursor at the top. Notice how my cursor changes to an arrow that points down. If I click there, it's going to select everything in that row, or that column, I'm sorry. Those are columns that go down. Again, the same as with a row. If you want to select everything in a specific row, look at my cursor over there in 1. Boom, it goes all the way across, just like that as well. Okay. So let's do our grade point average. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the name of my school in. So I'm not going to start in A, I'm going to start in B. I'm going to go to B1 and I'm going to click twice in there. If I click twice in there, notice there's some things that change. You get a little plus or checkbox here. You get a cancel there. You get an FX there. You get a cursor that's kind of flashing inside there. See the little I bars flashing in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the name of my school in there, and I'm going to do my high school because I just like my high school. So my high school is North Hills High School. And one thing you'll notice first is that you can click and type up here in this box, or you can actually type in the box down over here. The other thing you'll notice right away is how the cursor, the text goes over top of the box. Notice how my text goes from B and it's kind of going over top of C. Do you see that? Right? It's going, as I typed in here, you notice how it went over C? Look at that. It went over that. Okay, so how do I avoid that? Well, one way you can do it is have the text wrap around. Like wrap is when, just like in Word, when we got to the left margin and then boom, it automatically made a new line. You can do that so it all squeezes in there. If you don't mind it going over two of them, it's fine going over two of them like that, as long as you can visually understand what it's doing, and so on. So I'm going to leave it just like that. I don't mind it going over top of it. I am going to change the size of my text though. So notice how I can select everything up here. See that? And I can go over here and change the font size. So I'm not trying to select in here. You can select in there as well, but you can also select up here. See that? So this box is kind of representing what's inside here, and you can change the color if you want. I might give it a color, but oh, my North Hills was red. North Hills High School was red. Yep, you see, yep. My high school was the #1 high school football team in the United States the year after I graduated. #1.
Really?
Yep. The best high school football team in the entire United States. 1987. 1987. Didn't lose a game for like 5 years. Yeah. Let's bring in a graphic. Wouldn't it be nice if I had a logo for this school? Name is nice and so I'm going to click in a new cell. I'm going to kind of go over here and click in maybe E right here. E right here. And I'm going to go and get my logo. So again, you can download images off the internet and put them in Excel as well. To do that, I can go down here to the internet, either one. I'm going to use Firefox because I tend to use Firefox. So I'm going to go and find my logo. I'm going to go to Google and find my school logo. Yeah. Oh, look at that. North Hills High School football. Look at that. Woo! Woo! Mars versus North Hills. Okay, we definitely didn't want that. Okay, I'm going to find yourself. Hold on. Let's find my logo. North Hills High School logo. There we go. There we go. So find yourself a logo. It can be West Valley. If you're following one, you got to turn in something. So you should be working in something. If you can make this up, you could have went to, you know, whatever school you want. This is all made up. This doesn't have to be your high school. You know, we're just learning Excel. But I'm showing you how to bring an image in is what the important thing here is. So you can either save it on the computer if you want, or you can copy and paste from the internet as well. And ooh, I like this one. It's not very nice. No, I like the other one. Which one? No. This one. Okay, whatever. This is good. So again, you can copy and paste. If you right click on there, you can say copy image, right? So I am here on the internet. I clicked on the image. I like this one. Again, I'm in the Firefox browser. I can right click on there, say copy image. I can go back to my Excel. I have my cell. I'm going to click in it so my I-bar is clicking there, so my I-bar is flashing in there. Now, just like you have in any of the programs you can paste, you can either right click and say paste if you would like, or you can go under edit and paste as well, and it's going to bring in something. No, it didn't work. No. Oh, don't click with the I-bar. Just click, don't have the I-bar going, I think. That's it. Don't have the I-bar going. Don't have the I-bar going. Click off and on. Sometimes you might have to click off and on. It's just the I-bar is when you double click. See, if you double click, it has an I-bar. It didn't let me flash. It's paste in there. But if you just click in your cell, it let me paste it. And I think it just has to do because it thinks you want to do something. And of course, if it's too big, you can click on your graphic and shrink it down. I can put my cursor in the lower left corner or right corner here, and if I click and drag, you'll notice it will make it, oop, don't make it too small, but something like that. There we go. That looks pretty good. So again, we got the name of the high school, we got the name of the district, we got a graphic in there, and we're looking pretty good. Let's do our first formula. Woohoo! You put your, if you click on it, you get to little handles and you can scale it down. If you click on it, click, you should have little handles. Yes? Yes, scale it down, you can make it smaller. There you go. Okay, you got it? Okay, good. Okay, let's put, I'm going to go kind of over here in the A4 or somewhere over here, and I'm going to double click and I'm going to type the word date, D-A-T-E, and I'm going to put the word, a colon in there. I'm going to put the colon in there. So I'm going to type in the word date in one of the cells. And our first formula is going to be the today function, which is basically going to put the latest today's date in there. And then again, just like the today function inside of Word, every time you save it, it'll put the latest date in there. Do you remember when we did the today function in Word? I think I showed you that when we were doing the paper. right? It's the same thing. We're going to put the today function in here, not in this cell, but the one next to it, over here. To put the today function in there, you'll notice, how do I put formulas in there? Well, you got a whole bunch of options up here at the top. You also have an fx right here. Do you see this fx right there? So there's a variety of different places where you can get formulas in the program. You could either right click sometimes. You can also go to where it says fx here. You can also go up here where it says formulas up here. And you have all the formulas across here and so on. So there's a variety of ways that you can get to formulas inside here. Again, I'm just going to click here and I'm going to go to the one right here though. I'm going to go to the one that says insert function right here. And we're going to go down to the one that says today. You can actually search right here if you want. Again, how did I get this search box up? I actually clicked on the FX right there. Do you see the FX? I clicked on this word. Again, I had this cell selected. I clicked on this FX. It brought up this formula builder option. And the one we're looking for, and notice it has a search bar at the top there. Now, you could scroll all the way down to T for today, but you know, maybe you don't like to scroll, you know what I mean? So you can actually go and type in TODAY and then hit tab, and it should come up with the one I want you to come up with. So again, there is a search function. Again, how did I bring this up over here? I clicked on the FX here. I had a box selected first. I clicked on the FX and I went over here to the formula builder and I typed in the word today. It says today right there, and all you need to do is once it come up with the one you want, again, there's two todays, it's the same one. You say insert function right here and it'll put it in there. If you click off, you might have to click off and on. What's that? Never mind. You might have to click off and on. Did you see sometimes I clicked and it started selecting things, going crazy, things were going nuts. Sometimes the escape key helps you. Sometimes you just click off, but it should be the today's date. Is that the date?
I hit the return key and
It worked the first time. Okay, yeah. I don't know. You'll get used to it. Excel is a really goofy program as far as, you know, what do I click on, what do I do, and so on. Okay, so wouldn't it be nice also if maybe the date was not so far away, but on the right side? So one thing to keep in mind when you're using Excel, when you put letters in, it's going to be on the left side. When you put numbers in, it'll be on the right side. Look at this one. It's on the right side. Did you see that? So if we want the date to be on the right side so it kind of lines up closer to that, we can do that as well by clicking in the cell and changing the alignment, right? You got right aligned, center, left. So if I go over here, I can click here. Just like we have inside of Word under Home, you'll notice you have left align right here, right align right here. I'm going to click on that and it'll put that on there. Again, so just like in Word, you have a home function that you can use to align text as well. The other thing that's kind of nice is if maybe you want this whole line or whole row to be selected, or these boxes to be colored. Maybe the date is very important to you and want it to stand out. Wouldn't it be nice if I make that cell a specific color? You can make that stand out because that might be very important to something like this. Maybe it's a transcript you're sending to somebody or something like that. You can color that cell by using the paint bucket here. And it's right here next to, this is the color of the text. Remember I made this text red? But this one next to it is the color of the cell. And so if you want a cell to stand out, you can color it. That makes it stand out, right? Yellow, hey. Notice how I click around, click around, click around. You know, here's a problem. Here's a mistake I often do. If you click and drag, oh, let's drag, you get things like that. And you're like, ah! Okay. Another common problem, don't do this, just watch for a moment. Another common problem is you'll start seeing a bunch of hashtags in there. You're like, why? There should be numbers in there. Well, the reason why is there's not enough space in the cell to display the letters, so it puts hashtags in here. Watch when I do that. If I take this and make it smaller, look at this. See these hashtags like that? and you're like, why is there hashtags there? That's not right. That doesn't look right. Okay, it's not that there's a problem. It's that the cell is too small to display the data, so it puts hashtags in there automatically. I'm going to undo that. I'm just pointing those things out, and let me undo this other thing. There we go. So be wary. You're going to make a lot of mistakes in the program, especially dragging and seeing things. It's just going to happen. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. It's going to happen. Okay, let's get to, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's on the box. Yours has the plus 85. It says today. There's a bracket plus 85.
Oh, B5 is the plus B. Oh, that's when I click below it, right? Yeah, it thought I wanted to add that. Yeah, you can just delete that. Yeah.
But that's what you want to do if you want to add all the
Yeah, that's if you want to add a date below, and it's because I clicked. It wanted to add another date. That's why, I guess. Okay, let's put our name in there, right? Because this is my grade point average. We got a date, we got a time. So I'm going to go 2 below, and of course I'm going to put name. And then I'm going to put my name in there. Again, if you want, maybe you want all the ones over here to be right aligned, right? Remember we tried doing that before with this one? Remember I right aligned that? Maybe we want all the ones in the A column to be right aligned. How would I select all the column? How did I do that? I showed you that already. Where do I put the cursor? At the top, here at the A, right there, yeah. If you click on it right there, it'll select the whole thing, and then I can go, oh, boom. Now they'll all be on the right side, right? They'll all be there. Okay, I'm going to go over a little bit. I'm going to go down a little bit. And I'm going to type in the word courses. Is that courses? O-S. Courses. Now I'm going to kind of make that stand out a little because I want them to visually be able to see that. So let's talk about lines. One of the things that you can use inside of Excel is you can add lines to the actual tables themselves. And so if you look, notice I have this selected. If you look up here, remember we colored a box right here? But you can also, if you click next to it, you'll notice you have a bottom border right there. You got all these different kinds of borders. So your cell can have a line to it. One way to make your cell kind of stand out a little is to give it a line. I'm going to do the bottom border. And then I'm going to change the font to be a little bit bigger as well. Maybe bold it. And if I click off, you'll see this is what it looks like. And let me zoom in a little. I know it's hard to see this stuff. There we go. I'm going to zoom in a little. Okay, so one way to make something stand out is, of course, you can bold the text, but you can also put a line underneath there to kind of separate what this is to the classes I'm going to list here, right? We're going to list some classes here. So let's list the classes if you remember all your classes from high school. My classes were orchestra. All 4 years of orchestra, pottery, photography.
Are you making that pottery?
What's that?
Are you good at pottery?
I do ceramics, yes. I'm gonna raffle one off the last day of class. Somebody's gonna win them. You didn't know that I raffle off a ceramics piece? No. Oh, every class for the past 8 years I've been raffling off a piece of ceramics. So somebody will win a nice piece of ceramics last day, and a stud finder if I have an extra one. Okay, so but you see how to make the line, right? It's a border next there. See it? Nice. It makes it look good, right? Okay, let's put in some classes. So I'm going to put in a class. Let's put in PE. We all love PE, right? What do we got? Oh, they call that kinesiology now or something like that? Kinesiology or something like that? Yeah. I don't know. I still call it PE. All right.
Do they call it that?
Yes? Oh, the line again is if you select your cell, if you come up here, this is the color, but this is the line right here. So you got, I did the bottom border. Bottom border. Okay, we got PE. What else? I did PE early in the morning. My fastest mile was 6:40. That's not bad, huh?
That's pretty good.
You know, when you're like 17, you know, you can run pretty fast. Yes. PE, what else? Let's see. What else? Oh, I said pottery. And then I had trig. I had trigonometry. And what else did I have? Music. And then I had what else did I have? I had another class. Science. Science. And last one, we got one more class, full day. Photography, that's it. That's right. Okay. If you want to make a cell bigger, you can put your cursor at the top. Notice how photography is kind of going over the edge here. If I go and I put my cursor all the way up here to the top between the B and the C, there's a line. Notice if I put my cursor between there, you get a line with two arrows pointing in multiple directions. If I hold the left mouse down and drag, I can drag my cell bigger. Okay, so again, to make a cell bigger, you put your cursor between the letters at the top and you can drag them bigger. Okay, let's put in some, what do we need for our courses here? We probably need some units, right? Because not all of them are weighted the same. What else do we need? We need letter grades, probably. Maybe a percentage. What is your percentage? Because that would be good to figure out your GPA, right? So let's say we do grade. And so PE, we got 100% because we can run fast. How about that? Pottery, we got 95%. Notice how the percent goes to the right side. I just put the percent sign on the thing. Now, you don't need to do that. You can remove that as well. You don't have to do that. Uh-oh. Look what's happening. Oh my gosh, things are going crazy on me. Why? Well, it's the way Excel works. Once you start adding things and doing things, here, I'll show you that again. I put 100% in there, like that, right? And then I put, what did I put in here? 95%, like that. And then I said, oh, I don't want the percent sign there, because I'm going to change, I'm going to have Excel do that itself, right? I want it to know it's a percent. I don't need to put the percent sign in there. I want it to know that it's a percent. So I went back and I said, oh, I should delete that. And I went and I hit delete here, and then I hit off, and now it went to 10,000%. Why did it do that? Okay, so it's quite evil when it comes to doing things like that. See, watch if I remove the percent here and I click off. Okay, so be wary of the Excel. It will drive you crazy. Okay, so here we go. What we want to do is everything that's in this column, we want to be a percent. So how we're going to do that is I can select them all by, and I don't want this one to be a percent because that's a word. But I want this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one to be a percent. So how we're going to do that is we're going to use the shift key. The shift key is a way to select multiple things. So again, with my left hand, I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to hold the shift key down, and I'm going to click all the way down to photography so that they're all selected. Try and do that. Don't drag. Try and avoid saying, oh, I want all this. It does work, but eventually it's going to cause a problem a little bit, especially if you had data in there already. It'll start messing things up. So I tend to use the shift key more than yeah, again, here, I'll do it again. If I click on this one and I want to select all them down to here, I click on the first one, then I hold the shift key down and I click on the last one, and it'll collect all the ones in between. Okay, I want all the ones in between. Next, oh, it already says percentage, but over here it might say general. See how it says general over here? If yours says general, what we want is, notice right here, these are the ways that you can format your cells over here. So depending upon how you format it may depend upon the formula you make as well. So keep that in mind. You'll notice you got general, which could be non-specific. It could be letters and numbers. It will recognize a number in general. You don't have to say, hey, it's a number. It will recognize if you put a number in there that it is a number. Then you got accounting. Then you have short date, long date, you have time, you have percentage, you have fractions, you have scientific, and you have ABC text. This is a little bit longer text. I'm going to choose percent so that they're all percents here. Then I'm going to go and type in my percent number. Again, we got 100 here. Oh, look at that. Why is it doing that? Well, it's adding 100% to it. That's why. Once you put the percent sign in there, it thinks you add 100% to it. So if I really wanted this to be 10%, what would I put in there? Or I meant, what is that? 100%. You have also the decimal places that are over here as well. So you can get rid of the decimals. That's one thing you can do. Then if I put in 1%, no, that's not going to work, is it? No. Why won't it give me 100%? There it goes. I don't know why. I put in 100. I had to do it up here, though, because it's probably because I had data in there already. I wanted to add data to that. Okay, what was my pottery? 95%? And, oh, see, it did that again to me, didn't it? It's evil. Let me try and do it again. How about we delete it? I can't get 95 in there. No, I got 950. I don't know. Okay, trigonometry was hard. I got an 82. Why does it keep doing that to me? I don't know why it's doing that to me. I don't. Why is it doing that? What's that?
You can right click the cell and select format cells and get kind of a little deeper view on what's going on inside there.
0 decimal places.
Hit 2 decimal places.
I don't know why it's doing that to me. It was fine earlier.
Try to select the boxes again, all the boxes again, and do the up to the general.
Okay, let me try this. No. Let me try this. There we go. I don't know. I had to delete the... Maybe this formula thing's messing it up. Music, I did okay. We'll say 92. And it's still 92,000. I don't know why it's putting all those extras here. Science was difficult. We'll say I got 75. Again, I have to come up here and delete the zeros for some reason. And then go to this one to remove those. And What do we got? Photography was easy. We'll do 95 there. And we'll remove the zeros and the decimal places. So see, I don't know why I have to do this. I'll have to research that, why it's doing that to me. See if you can get the right numbers in. I'm sorry, I don't know why. Then of course we could put letter grade over here. And then we could put in A, B, oh no, it's an A too. A, C, A. If you want to center that so it looks a little nicer, if that's a word, nicer, so it's not jammed up against it, you can also center. Again, holding the shift key down, you select multiple ones and we can center those. Next, we can put in units. So I'm going to put in units or credits, right? Don't you have credits or units or something like that, right? Not all these classes are weighted the same. Some are 4 units, maybe. Some are 3 units. PE is usually a half a unit or something, 1 unit maybe. And then pottery, that's probably 3 units. Trigonometry is math, that might be 4 units. Music is probably 4 units. Science is probably 4 units. And photography is probably 3. So you can put in units, right? Just like we have multiple units here at West Valley, right? Even your high school had probably units as well. The PE wasn't weighted as much as the science, right? Okay, let's get our formulas going now. Okay, so let's figure out what we want to do. First thing we want to do is we want to calculate what is my percentage of all these grades, right? What is my grade for all of these? So you want to add them all together, right? And so you have a variety of different options. The very common ones are sum, average, min for the least one. You know, which one is the? You could come over here and say, hey, which is the worst class he's taken? So you want the minimum one, which would be, of course, this. Or then you can have max, min, sum, average, and median. Those are the ones that are used to analyze the data and give you either, you know, another piece of information. Okay. You want to take a break first? You guys thirsty at all? We can take a short break. How about we do that and then we come back? Okay, so in this case, what I could do is I'm going to click down here. Oh, actually, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to put GPA, which would be your grade point average, I guess is your percentage. And of course, if you want, you can put your underline there. If you click off and on, notice how I clicked off and on. I could put my line under there too. That makes it stand out a little bit. Remember our little line? Then I'm going to click the one that's right below it. The one that's right below it. Now let's talk about how we can write the formula by hand, or we can actually have Excel do it for us. Let's write some stuff by hand and let's then have Excel do things for us as well. Okay, so you can do it either way, but you should know how to do both. So the first thing you need to know is that all formulas in Excel start with an equal sign. So again, I'm clicking here. I can actually come over here and I can hit the equal sign in there. Now, what do we want to do? I used the word sum already, so I'm going to type in the word sum, S-U-M, like that, sum. Okay, sum is how you add a group of things together, sum. Next, I want to tell it where do I need this to go? Okay, so what do I want to add up? What do I want? Well, I want to add up all the ones between C9. So when we make the formulas, you refer to the location in Excel how we refer to the location in Excel is by going under the column name and the row number. So here, watch how I write it, and then you try. Okay, watch how I do it. So we're gonna go between. We're gonna hit a round bracket. This one, whatever. What is that called? Is that just called a round bracket? What is?
Open parentheses.
No, whatever the round one is that looks like this.
That thing you have right there?
Yeah.
Open parentheses.
Open parentheses then. Okay, so we got a round one that's that way, and then I'm going to put in the number, which is what I just said was again C9. C9. So I type in the word C9 like that. Then I'm going to put a colon. And then we're going to put another number, which is the ending number, which would be C14. So I'm going to put in C14. And then I'm going to put a round bracket again. And I'm going to hit the plus button. Uh-oh, what did I get though? Well, its sum is adding them all up. So basically what it did was it added them all up. There's no plus. To type the formula by hand, you start with the equal sign, type in the word sum, S-U-M, put a round bracket, then of course the number, which is C9, colon, the two dots, C14, which is C14, which is this one, C14. And then you hit the plus, it's right here. It's right here next to that plus. It's like a little green, it's a checkbox. It says, hey, do the formula. Now, of course, the problem again with sum is that it's adding all of these up. So you have 539%, but what do we have to divide by? 6, right? Because I got 6, well, you might have 5. I put 6 in. So in order to do that, you can do that in the formula box as well. If you come up here to the formula box and put your cursor after the final bracket, you can hit the backslash. It's the one below the question mark next to shift on the keyboard. You see that? That's divide. Whatever is that what's called? Is that backslash? That's a back. Is that a forward slash? Oh, this one above the return key might be backslash. Yeah, that might be forward. Then of course we need the number 6 in there. We put 6 in there, and then let's hit the green. Look at. We'll hit the enter button. See it right there. Enter. And boom, that's the correct number. That's the correct number now. But of course, that was a little difficult. Whew. That was a little difficult. It's okay. It depends on your thing, yes. Okay, so that's how you can type the formula by hand. This is it. You want to do, see how I select it. Yeah, oh, click up here, forward slash, whatever, how many you have. Okay, so that was a little difficult, but why is that? Well, I had to do a little thinking, right? I had to think. Much easier way. So let's remove this formula, and we're going to just use the average. There's a code, just average. You just put average in there, and boom, it'll give you the right number.
So this one menu one.
This again, sum just adds it up, just like adding. And of course, we then had to divide. Wouldn't it be better if I just used the function called average and it'll do all that work for you? So here we go. I'm going to go and use the average. So I'm going to remove this. How do I get rid of it? Probably the easiest way is to delete it up here. Don't try and delete things down here. That's not going to do any good for you. It's really hard to delete things down here. Again, have yourself selected, and I'm going to select all the code that I had in there, and I'm going to hit the delete key or the X. Oh, nope, delete key. There it goes. Go away. Okay, so highlight all that and hit the delete key. Okay, and then you can even click on and off. I may click off and on again, off and on again, off and on again. Okay, so I'm going to click off and on. And you see me do that a lot. It's just because sometimes Excel will only do things if you have certain things selected a certain way. If that makes any sense, I don't know. It's really kind of goofy that I have to click on and off. Okay, once I have it selected, this time, instead of going and typing in here, remember when we did the today one, we did what? We clicked here and searched for today, because we knew what today was. Okay, this time I'm not going to do that. If I click in this box again and I'm in home right here. If you come all the way over here to this backward E looking thing right here, these are the very common ones that we're going to look at first. And if you hold your cursor down again over top of that, again, it's all the way under home, all the way to the right side at the very top. You'll notice up here, these are very common ones that we use a lot. That's why they're there. Sum is adding. Average is what it does is it'll do kind of averaging. Count is how many. We'll get to that one. Max and min. We're going to go through all of these right now. But if I wanted to get my average percentage, I might just use average instead of using sum. If I just come right here and say average, it's going to ask me what cells. Notice how you have a bunch, and the terms we use to describe these things are called marching ants sometimes. Depends on the book you're using. They call them marching ants. But notice what it's doing is it's thinking you want to average all the things up here. Okay, but you might not need everything. I don't need this. I don't need this blank one. So how do I get it to just do between here and here? Again, the shift key. Love the shift key. Shift key is the greatest one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the shift key on the keyboard, and I'm going to click the last one I want. This one right here. If I do that, watch. Oh, notice how it changes now that it's only using the things between here and here. You see that? Okay, and again, you'll notice it's doing all this for me. We got the equal sign, it put the word in there. Notice it put C9 colon C14. It did that for me. When I'm done, again, you hit the green checkbox. The green checkbox. It's going to be finished here. And if I hit the green checkbox, let's see. Oh, 90%, just like I did before with the formula, right? Just like it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to come up with how many units is the student taking. Or no, count is for how many things that you have. So how many classes is the student taking? That's what we want. So we can give two things with this. One of them is how many classes. I would use count. What that does is it counts the amount of classes you have. Then I can add up all the units and get the total number of units using which one's the odd one? Sum, right? Okay, so let's do that first. Let's do the total number of units, and then we'll do total number of classes. So here we go. If we come over here, I'm going to type in total units. Total units. And I'm going to go over here. And again, this time we're going to do sum. You want to write it by hand, or you want to do it with the computer doing it for me? No, the computer does it for me. How about that? Okay, let's do the search function again. Let's try that again if you want. So again, I'm going to click here. Make sure you don't have the I-bar going. Do you remember the little FX right here? Do you see it? FX right here, the little one that's up here in the I-bar again, FX, right? Remember that one? If I click on there, what do we want? We can go to the search bar over here and we can type in sum, or sum usually shows up. It's a very important function. We use it a lot to add things because you do a lot of adding. Okay, so we want to do sum. First thing I'm going to do is it's going to ask us, well, what do you want to do? Well, I found sum. I'm going to say insert function. Notice again, though, it has the area where you want it to go. We don't want to go all the way down to 16. We only want to go down to 14. So I'm going to change this to 14 right there. Another way you can do it is by dragging your cursor along the edge. Oh, that didn't work. Hit escape. Maybe start over. Sum. Insert function. Do this by hand. How about that? What was it? 14? There we go. Dragging is really evil in this program. Evil. So try and avoid dragging. But again, you'll notice if you put this in there, it should work. If you hit done, it should give you 19. Mine's 19 units. Yours was going to be different. Okay, so we have that as well. That is the total number of units. How about we put total classes? How many classes is the student taking? So if I come over here, I'm going to put in total classes. If we put in total classes, I'm going to click down below there. This one is going to be Count, like Count Chocula, right? Or no, what's Count and, oh, his name's just Count in Sesame Street, right? Count Dracula? No, what was his Count? Just Count, right? The Count. Okay, Count. Okay, we use count to count how many things are done. So, you know, we could be, you can pretty much count any of these. You know, you can count all these. But I want to count the classes that are over here. So if you want, we can write this one by hand instead of using the formula builder. How about we do another one by hand? Let's do it all by hand. Here we go. So I'm going to close the formula builder. That's the cheater. Let's do it by hand. So again, under total classes, I'm going to come over here to the FX bar up here. I'm not going to click FX. I'm just going to do this one by hand. Again, all formulas start with the equal sign, right? Equal sign. Then we're going to put in the word count. Does it have to be uppercase or lowercase? Doesn't matter in the formula box. So I'm going to put in count, C, count like that. Notice, even though I have it in lowercase letters, do you notice how Excel automatically starts making them uppercase in the sort of pop-up menu in there, right? See how it's coming up with some special pop-up menu? See that? Okay, so it's going to do that anyways, but it doesn't really matter. You can mix the upper and lower case. So you got count, and of course remember to do the range that you want. Remember, there's a range of cells. You start with the round bracket, and then we're going to put in. We want to go from this one, which is B9 to B14. So again, I'm going to put in B9 colon B14, and then round bracket. And then when you're done, you hit the checkbox and boom, 0. Ah, what did I do wrong? Can anybody? The count doesn't know that the letters are letters. It sees it as what? General. What if I did count a little bit different and I put in, let's say, C or E. Let's put in E9 and E14 and then hit the checkbox. Oh, 6 comes up. It doesn't like it when it's common for count for some reason. I would think that it would count things like that, but the count tends to want numbers in there. So even though I had the name of the class, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes here, it couldn't recognize these and it didn't know how to add them up. So I don't know why. Yes?
So use count A.
Count A?
Put an A in there.
Oh, that's right. Yes, there is an A in there. What, count A like that, right? And then
Well, I guess change yourself.
and then count well, let's read about it. Count A functions counts the number of cells that are not empty in a range. Okay, so that would be that. Yeah, so the count A looks like it works fine. So maybe that one would work for the letter, these ones right here. So then I could do, what was it, B, right? B? I think it was B, and this is B. I don't know, any way you want. That worked as well, yes, count A. So count A worked because it counted things that are not numbers. Either way, you should have 6 in there. Why would we use count and just not put the number 6 in there? Well, maybe you need to add another class, right? Yes. Let's add another class. Whoosh. The whole purpose of Excel is so that you can change the data and the formulas will automatically update. That's the beauty of the program, right? Your grades are not going to stay the same throughout the semester, right? You put in different numbers and all of a sudden everything's going to change. Well, you put in formulas and things can cascade, which means they'll automatically change, right? Let's say my grade went down in trigonometry. Woo, I did get 82 in trigonometry.
Remember that?
I do, yes. You know, remember, I did. I got close. I was bad. I got a B. I thought I would do a little better. It was hard. Yes. Poppleton was the name of the teacher. He was the football. He was one of the assistant coaches on the football team, #1 in the country. Remember that?
Probably why they were Croatian.
Why the coach was really good.
Coach
Yeah.
got history.
Yeah. And yeah. So let's say I did a little bit worse in trigonometry. Let's say I went down. Let's just look at that first. Then we'll add a new one in there. So let's just say I come over here and I'm not 82 now. I'm down to 77. And then hit the checkbox there. Boom. Look. My grade point average went down. My count is the same though. Still have 6 classes. Still have the same units because I'm still passing. But this changed. That changed. Still got these really high grades. It keeps my grades up. Let- After you do things, you do check box. Let's add a class though. Whoosh. Okay. So adding a class, how we do that, and the easiest way to do that is to actually add a row. Okay. Instead of just adding to that, we might add a row in there, and then that row then may cascade along the formulas as well. I don't know. It may or may not work. What I'm thinking of. It might work. So let's say I want to add a row, and let's put it between PE and pottery. How about that? So how do I add a row? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to select a row by, again, if you can click the cursor here, you can select the entire row. Remember how you put your cursor in the corner? You remember you can select the entire column, an entire row? And then I'm going to right click. And I'm going to say, where was it? Insert. Oh, that went above though. Let me undo that. I wanted to be between there. So let me try this. I'm going to do pottery first and say insert. There we go. So, and then I'm going to put a new class in there. I already have music. What else? What else do I want? I did photography, pottery, drawing. I know I had computers in high school. I actually had computers. They had, just paper coming out. And I got a 82, 84% on that one. Uh-oh, look at it. My numbers go crazy again. I don't know why my numbers are going nuts there. I haven't figured that out. And then I will figure that out. I got to figure that out myself. Letter grade is a B. And how many units is that? It's a 4-unit class. Let's look at what happened. Look at my count now. From 6 to 7. Automatically, right? Total units. Automatically changed. My GPA. Automatically changed. So, again, the reason why we use formulas, why we use a spreadsheet, is because you can change the data and the formulas will automatically change, right? Okay, so think about that. Just think of the power of that. Whatever they do, things, you don't have to calculate it again. It's doing it for you. That's why we use it. Why we use it in business. Okay, we only have a few more things and then we're gonna save. Okay, we got a few more things. We gotta do min and max. Maybe we'll do a hard one. I don't know. You want to do a hard formula or an easy one? I don't know. So, it's easy to figure out which one is the worst class because it's going to be the lowest one, right? So that would be min, and then we could say which one is our best class, which would be PE. That's easy. But what if I wanted to figure out which is the best class? Let's say I want to be able to find out which is the best class, but then present the name of the class and not just the number. You would have to do certain calculations where you find out, hey, this is one, but put this in there, in the the box that you want, right? So that would be a little bit more complicated. That would be something called a VLOOKUP table, where you're looking at multiple data at the same time. Let's just do something easy for right now. We'll see if we get to that. We'll try it before we leave if we can. Okay? Let's just do we'll do lowest grade, lowest grade, or no, lowest grade. Lowest? Yeah, I guess that's a word. Lowest is a word, right? Lowest is a grade. Word. So lowest grade, I'm going to click below here, and if you remember, let's have it calculate for us as well. To have it calculate for us, we can also do the pull down menu right here, and we can do min. Min would give us the lowest grade. Where are we getting the lowest grade from? Well, we're going to get it from the percentages that we just did. So I'm going to say min, and then of course we're not doing this stuff over here. It thinks we want to do that. We don't want to do that. So here's what I'm going to do. So after I said min, I'm going to click my cursor right here at the 100%. Then I'm going to hold the shift key down and I'm going to click down here at the 95%. Then I'm going to use the green arrow right here and boom, it'll put it in. And of course it's coming up with 75% because that's the minimum, that's the lowest one I'm getting. I'll do that again. Here we go. I'm going to undo that. I know it was a little complicated. Here we go. Let me click off and on. Again, I want to do the min. Okay. So if you remember, I'm under home right here, and if I go across, you'll notice there is the little backwards E right here for sum. We don't want sum. Remember, that's adding it up. We want the minimum, the one that's the lowest number. To get the lowest number, I'm going to click the arrow that points down. You see where it says min right there? Again, the arrow that points down. I'm going to go min right there. And in the min, I don't want these two right here. Now, I could go and type in the new numbers if I want, but a quicker way is to actually just click. How do I click? With the left mouse, I'm going to click on the first one. Again, the magic key on the keyboard is the shift key, right? I'm going to hold the shift key down and click on the last one like that. See how the marching ants go all the way around all of that right there? And then I'm going to hit the little green arrow right here. Boom, and it'll give me the minimum one. I did that twice. Go ahead and try that now. See if that works for you. I will pause the video for a second. And I'm recording everything that we're talking about in class. You can go and watch all this wonderful stuff over again on my YouTube channel or on Canvas. I linked the videos up to Canvas. I think the latest ones are linked up already. And I put the date on the video so that you know which day. Okay? So here we go. Let's try the... What were we going to do? Minimum, right? Was it min? Let's see if we can do that. Let's say minimum class. Min class, right? Minimum class. What class am I doing the worst in? How about that? Maybe we just write it like that. How about we write it? Worst. Worst? No, that's worst. I just put worst. W-O-R-S-T. Worst class. There we go. I guess we could do best class if it might sound a little better, but whatever. Worst class. Okay, here we go. Let's try it. So I'm going to click right below there so I have my thing selected. Make sure your I bar is not necessarily in there. And the teacher said something, he wrote it on the board. What did I write on the board up there? What is the one we're going to use? What formula are we going to use? VLOOKUP. Okay, so I don't know where VLOOKUP is here. I don't know. Okay, so there's another option. And if you look here, it's called formulas right here. If you look right there, see where it says formulas. Inside formulas, you'll see there's a whole bunch of them, and we'll be going over some of them. We already did a date and time, right? Remember we did today? Pretty good. We did all these ones over here already. Remember sum, average, and all those. But the one we want is logic. Think about it. We want to look up something, right? We're looking up something. So we're going to do kind of a logic here, and I'm going to go down to where it says, oh, no, not that one. Maybe it isn't logic. What am I looking for? Financial. Where's, oh, there it is. Thank you. Look up and reference. VLOOKUP. There it is. VLOOKUP. Sorry. So value and reference. The Okay, so the first thing we want to do is look up a range, right? We're looking up values. What is the range of values we're looking up? Well, we're going to go from C9 to C15, right? We want to look up all those classes. So we're going to go from C, oh, actually, let's see, column, no, we got to go actually before. Oh yeah, no, C, what did I just say? C9 and colon C14. There we go. The table array is the both columns, right? We want to do both this column and this column. So the next one is going to be from here, which is B9. Oh, I'm missing one here. I got to go 15. I'm sorry, I'm missing one there. Let me go back. I'm missing one there. C15. Okay, there we go. C15. There we go. All of those. Okay, so again, the values we're looking up is this one, right? The table array is going to be, again, I just told you, it's going to be from B9 to C15 because we're doing two columns, right? So look up value. Huh? This one. This one is C9 to C15. And then the table is going to be B9 to, what did I just say? C15. C15. Okay, because we need to look at both columns, right? Both columns, right? Then we want to column index. Is we're looking for, what do we want to look? We're looking for the second column. No. And the range is going to be, no. We want first column, and we're trying to do min, right? Min. Oh, didn't work. What am I trying to do? Let's see here. PE. We want not the range lookup. This is the mistake. What am I looking for? We want the range, the logical to be somewhere. We need to put the word min in there. We want the min value. We want the min value. Min is going to be in which table? This table right here. Min. M-I-N. Min. Can I put that in there? Round bracket. Round bracket. Hold on, I have to think about this. And then we want to pull out the first thing, and we want to pull out what? No. Close. What do I want? And that's the range. Look up. We want the minimum value between that and that. Why does it give me 1? So I want the minimum value of this, C9 to that, which is this, which was this, what's the lowest grade at? 75 science. We're working too hard. This is too hard. Wouldn't it be easier just to pull the name of this box out? That's what we need. We just need that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't need that. You just need this table array. It's got the whole table. We want the minimum value of this, but we want the data from column 1. That should work. But it's not giving me the right number. Hold on, I can barely get down here. I would like to be able to read this. Okay, that's all right. we don't have to do this today. I'll figure it out and we look at it. We're close. Let's move on. Let's save. So the last thing I want you to do is save as a PDF because we're going to turn it into the Canvas, right? Okay, so we could save the Excel file first. Save the Excel file first. Just go under File, Save. Because remember, we gave it a name at the very beginning, right? Right? Okay, next we're going to save it. And I might move my thing over a little bit here. There we go. Okay, next I'm going to save it as a PDF. To save as a PDF, we go under File. What's that? These down here, these are the formulas that we put in. Okay, so let's save as a PDF. To save as a PDF, I'm going to go under File, Save As. You'll notice under File Format, there is one for PDF. And it's asking us what we want to save. And you can save a specific sheet. Remember, you can have multiple sheets, right? Or you can do the entire workbook. If you do the entire workbook, it could put each sheet on a different page, right? A PDF is like a page thing, right? And then where do you want to save it? Well, we can save it on our desktop if you want. And if you hit save, it should save as a PDF. And you can go and look at it if you want. You're going to go and look at it if you want. And it's right here. And you can see what it looks like inside of Microsoft, Adobe Acrobat, right? So again, save as a PDF and then turn this in. You should have a box inside of Canvas where you turn in that homework, okay? So save it. And